Naira swap, why Emefiele's CBN must obey Supreme Court order. Welcome to the news and please subscribe to our channel. To get notified when we post hot juicy news updates, please click on the notification bell. Interim Chairman of Alliance on Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond, ASCAB, ASCAB, Femi Falana has advised the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN to comply with the Supreme Court order on the currency swap crisis. Falana, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, spoke in a Thursday statement the day after the Apex Court temporarily restrained the federal government, the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN, and the commercial banks from enforcing the February 10 deadline and for the old 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira note to cease to be legal tender. He said speaking up became necessary following reports indicating that the Central Bank of Nigeria has decided that it would not follow the injunctions of the Apex Court. Falana said such a move by the Central Bank of Nigeria would be nothing but a contentious disregard for the rule of law. Falana dealt the technicalities of the case, establishing the reason the Central Bank of Nigeria's management might be looking to ignore the court order. The legal luminary, however, gave his counter reasons why the Central Bank of Nigeria cannot disregard the Supreme Court, citing cases that gave greater context to the matter on ground. Falana's statement titled, Why the Central Bank of Nigeria Must Obey Ex parte Order of Supreme Court. Read. We have just read a report that the authorities of the Central Bank of Nigeria have decided not to comply with the ex parte order issued by the Supreme Court of Nigeria in respect of the avoidable currency swap crisis. The reason adduced for the contentions with regard for the rule of law is that the Central Bank of Nigeria is not a party to the case of the Attorney General of Kaduna State and 2 ORSV Attorney General of the Federation, suit number SC CV 162-2023, pending at the Supreme Court. It is pertinent to remind the management of the Central Bank of the case of Uncle Augustine Edigo v. Board of Central Bank of Nigeria, suit number HCIK 38-2022, where the Delta State High Court granted an ex parte order which restrained the defendant from preventing the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria from seeking political office, pending the hearing and determination of the motion and notice in the case. Even though Mr. Emefiele was not a party to the suit, he took advantage of the ex parte order to join the All Progressive Congress to contest the presidential primary of the All Progressive Congress before he was stopped by President Buhari. Similarly, in the case of Incorporated Trustees of the Forum for Accountability and Good Leadership, v. Attorney General of the Federation and ORS suit number FCT-HCGAR-CV 41-2022, the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory granted an injunction restraining the State Security Services from arresting, investigating, and prosecuting Mr. Emefiele for terrorism financing. Although he was not a party to the suit, Mr. Emefiele has not been arrested. Mr. Emefiele has not been arrested by the State Security Services on the basis of the court order. Therefore, it is height of arrogance of power for Mr. Emefiele to treat the ex parte of the Supreme Court with provocative contempt. In view of the looming anarchy in the country, we are compelled to draw the attention of the Central Bank management of the rule of law to the case of the Attorney General of Lagos State v. Attorney General of the Federation 2005, 2 WRN 1 at 109, where Toby JSC of blessed memory cautioned all authorities and persons in Nigeria thus: in a society where the rule of law prevails, self-help is not available to the executive or any arm of government. In view of the fact that such a conduct could breed anarchy and totalitarianism, and since anarchy and totalitarianism are antithesis to democracy, courts operating the rule of law, the lifeblood of democracy, are under a constitutional duty to stand against such action. The courts are available to accommodate all sorts of grievances that are justifiable in law, and Section 6 of the Constitution gives the court power to adjudicate on matters between 2 or more competing parties. In our democracy, all the government of this country as well as organizations and individuals must kowtow to the due process of the law, and this they can vindicate by resorting to the court for redress in the event of any grievance. It is public knowledge that the federal government has filed a preliminary objection challenging the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to hear and determine the case of the Attorney General of Kaduna State and 2 ORS v. Attorney General of the Federation Supra. In the interim, the federal government of Nigeria and its agencies, including the Central Bank of Nigeria, are bound by the valid and subsisting ex parte order of the Supreme Court of Nigeria until it is set aside by the same court. The alternative is to compound the ongoing anarchy and chaos in the land. Now, the thing is, I have said it before, this is not the first time, this is not the second time or the third time, that the only way I am not in support of this is because the new notes are not available. Had it been the CBN now want to shut up everybody, get the issue, trace down, I don't care how they do it, whether not to split people, bring out officials who are going to make sure monies are being delivered. You cannot be holding cash. You cannot tell me that you are trying, I don't care whatever they want to do. I don't care what is the objective of doing it. Some people are saying it is being targeted at this one, it's being targeted at the person. Tinubu is saying it is because of me and all of that. I don't care. My own use because of one person, use punish everybody. That is my own. Do you understand my own? You say make them release, you said they should, take the old notes to the bank. People obeyed. Now don't be like that and say, okay, you're not going to hold the, no. You're not going to hold the new currency. It does not make sense to me. To me, it means you are taking advantage of the people, and that is wrong. It is either he releases the new note, or he actually say, okay, make another using an old note. And I don't see where my own don't go, because this thing, they cause a lot of problems. Whether I like it or not, people have been dying. If you have not been hearing the news, cool down, the news will come in. This is not me trying to prophesy doom, but this is what is happening. People are frustrated. Everywhere don't hurt. Sincerely. Like I said before, you don't even need to fire a single bullet. This particular situation, many people use because of this situation. They don't, as in businesses don't fold. There are places you go to and they even open because why? They work on cash. And as they're not working, there's no income coming in. And as no income is coming in, what do you think will happen? Come on now. I'm very confident that the end to this vexatious policy has come. Whatever they do now, Tinubu will correct it when sworn in. They talk about make them save Nigeria. They talk about election. Alright. The CBN governor that wants to put this country into unrest after killing thousands of Nigerians is a terrorist. And Tinubu will visit this misconduct after swearing Emefiele cannot go scot-free. Look, it is wrong for any government to come in and say they will do this. This is threatening. I don't care what they will feel. It's just like, how do I even put it now? It's just like when you come with threat like, this one you're talking against Tinubu, what if he's swearing? And if he's swearing, uncle, we know it's because they swear him in to come and start rubbishing people. Is that how it is supposed to be? Then if that is how it's supposed to be, then that is even the more reason why he should not be sworn in. He should be so neck deep into solving Nigeria's problem that he's not going to even remember those who abused him when he was trying to get to power. That's my take. Alright, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until